so much new anime has been announced. New Watanabe series, new Ikuhara, new season of Chihaya Furu, Psycho Pass movie trilogy or something, a new Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress movie, Hibiki Euphonium movie with like original content. But we're not here to talk about any of that. It's winter 2018 time. Plus Netflix and whatever else, Ergo Proxy. How
Mm-hmm.
are you, Mario?
I'm pretty good. We have like a bunch of new episodes to watch.
Yeah, what exactly will we be talking about? Break it down for us.
Alright, so we got the first episode of Be the Beginning and the first episode of AICO Incarnations.
Yep.
And but first, I want to ask you about a shows that I haven't watched this season. But from what I heard from you last week, it was like your second favorite series this season.
Yeah,
So, yeah, so I want to ask you what do you think about Pop Team Epic
sure.
so
I
far?
guess the the hype or the enjoyment or whatever surrounding this series is a bit of a mystery to a lot of people. So I'll do my best to explain it. In a few minutes.
All right.
So Pop Team Epic, it's an adaptation kind of a Yonkoma manga series. 4 panel.
Mhm.
And in order to appreciate the anime, you have to be familiar with the the Yonkoma, I think, because um, to me, Pop Team Epic is. Have you ever read Peanuts, the comic strip Peanuts?
No, I haven't.
Okay, but as like Charlie Brown, Snoopy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep.
okay, so to me, Pop Team Epic kind of has the same. Um, it kind of has the same air as Peanuts. Like
All right.
Has a bunch of cute characters in it, but it's really at its core, it's kind of depressed and like existential. The characters are looking for meaning in their lives, even though one of them carries around a blanket, and one of them is a dog who gets in on top of his doghouse, pretends he's like a World War II fighter pilot.
All right.
Uh, that's how I feel about Peanuts. So Pop Team Epic to me is similar in that it does feature two like round looking cute girls, but to me Pop Team Epic is about like anarchy and about uh, like killing the golden calf, like making fun of everything related to anime, manga, video games. So it's basically holding up both middle fingers to the people that it calls subculture bitches. That's a phrase
Mm-hmm.
that's used in the manga and in the anime. And the idea when it criticizes a subculture bitch, what it means is it's kind of like lashing out at the people who just live for anime. Like that's the thing they enjoy most, and they're just obsessed with pop culture, like pop media. Well, at the same time, it engages in all those tropes. So here's an example of what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
In episode, I can't remember whether it was episode 8 or 9. Let me see. It was in episode 8. It started with a parody of a super old Japanese yakuza film,
Mm-hmm.
and that film opens in prison. So this skit also opened in prison,
Mm-hmm.
and the two main girls, like the Papuko and Pipimi, they're both in prison. One of them is a yakuza, and the other one is about to be recruited into the yakuza. So the way that the show establishes that uh, that Papuko, the yellow-haired girl, is a
Mm-hmm.
badass, is like a tough customer,
Mm-hmm.
is she's sitting at her cafeteria table because I guess it's lunchtime in prison, and the woman next to her is talking. She has her phone, and she's
Mm-hmm.
talking about how she really loves this stamp online, even though
Yeah.
she's never read the manga that it comes from, that the character is from. So as soon as Papuko hears this, that this woman is using a stamp without having read the source material, she flies into a rage and starts beating up the other woman. So the idea is that Papuko is like so obsessed and so much of it like an elitist that she can't even tolerate the fact that someone else is using a stamp without having like read the manga.
Right.
That kind of thing is all over Pop Team Epic.
All right. Is it?
Go ahead.
Yep. Is it make sense to you, listeners? Because it doesn't make sense to me, even after you explain all that. But yeah.
Okay. It's something that you have to like. You just have to kind of view anime and manga, like the culture surrounding those things, anime, manga, video games. You kind of have to view all of that as a little bit like crazy. You have to view all the people who are into it as kind of weird and obsessive, I think, in order to get the most out of the series.
All right.
But there's plenty of stuff that has nothing to do with that. There are lots of gags. Well, I shouldn't say lots because most of it is about what I've been talking about, that kind of nerd culture, I guess, as much as I hate to use that phrase. But there are like the show's creative in other ways. It uses a lot of different animation styles. The last episode used sand art.
Oh, right.
It just took a whole bunch of pictures of sand, like against a lit background, and it created animation that way. And then the show has a whole bunch of in-jokes in it as well, so it rewards you for knowing a lot about it, or knowing a lot about other anime series. With regards to the manga in particular, after it had been running for a year or two, it was announced that it was going to be canceled, the original manga. This is before the anime. And and that the author was going to start a new series called Hoshino Girl Drop. So Pop Team Epic was canceled. Hoshino Girl Drop came out. It went on for like a couple weeks. And then in chapter, I don't know, 3, 4, not very far into Hoshino Girl Drop's run, one of the main characters from Pop Team Epic, like one of the panels of Hoshino Girl Drop features a main character from Pop Team Epic like ripping open the screen essentially and saying, "Did you seriously think I was gonna keep doing this?" And then Hoshino Girl Drop was canceled and Pop Team Epic went back into serialization. So it's
unconventional.
Yeah, it is unconventional, and it's not as though like if you don't appreciate the show, or if you don't like quote unquote get the show, you're not really missing out on that much. It's just a goofy, kind of irreverent parody festival, I guess. I like it because I'm familiar with the manga, though I haven't read all of it. I have read enough of it to get the gist. So there's my explanation.
All right. I think you try your best.
I did try my best. The thing that I would stress above anything else is that it's not like essential. It's not essential viewing. It's not, even though it is one of my favorite anime this season. I think that's a personal thing. I don't think the show will be remembered for a long time.
I think it does.
It will. It will amongst like certain people, like devotees of the series maybe, or people who kind of view the anime and manga fandom as like a little weird, a little bit strange. But this is not I don't know, what's some modern classic that you can think of off the top of your head?
All right.
It's not one of those.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you compare Pop Team Epic to a play further than the universe, and see like in about like 2 to 3 years, which one will be remembered more?
I actually kind of think it's Pop Team Epic.
Yeah, I would say Pop Team Epic.
Yeah. The manga is I mean it's not popular on a wide scale like a Shonen Jump series or anything, but it is it's certainly beloved by the people who have I guess who have managed to find it
Mm-hmm.
and appreciate its wacko humor.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of its humor is actually non sequitur humor, so
Yep.
it it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's what I feel because like all the gags that they have they don't make sense to me. They don't have
Yeah.
any like punchline. But well,
Yeah, you're not wrong.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it probably will be remembered for a little while longer than a lot of the like the slice of life stuff that's going on right now or the like the
Yeah,
bland fantasy series that are constantly popping up every season.
I
But
agree.
if I guess my message would be to you and to anyone who's listening to this, if you don't find it funny, if you don't get it or you aren't like in on the joke, it's not something that you need to compulsively research or you know catch up on. It's not worth it. Like
Right.
sample it if you like it, that's cool. If not, it's fine.
Yep. All right. So for this week, in order for us to talk about the two shows that I just mentioned before, Be the Beginning and AICO,
Yeah,
we will skip over the Violet Evergarden this week, and we
yeah,
will talk about the two episodes of Violet Evergarden the next week.
sounds good to me.
All right.
So
So
do we want to go ahead and compare the Netflix shows?
all right, let's do that.
All right. We had a little bit of a back and forth before we started recording about one of the two in particular. So let's start with that one, I guess.
All right.
That would be the beginning. So why don't you go ahead and give me your impressions of the first episode?
All right. I think the first episode of Be the Beginning is very messy. it's it does it's the job to introduce like all the main players. So we got like the Killer Bee. We got the main protagonist, which is the girl. Uh, I think her name is Koku, and we got the talented investigator with the kid, and then we got like the whole bunch of the criminal organizations on the badass uh, dude. That
Yes.
that yeah. So like we got introduced to like every one of them.
Did we really get introduced to any characters though?
No,
I mean,
we don't really actually we don't really.
no.
I agree, but we know that they're gonna be like all those players in the
Well,
pictures.
well, sure. I mean, they were in the first episode. I am assuming they'll be in future episodes, except for, you know, all the guys who died,
Oh,
because people are already dying left and right.
all right. So what I feel is like the first episode is very messy, but it does it job to like introduce the world, the the settings. It's alright. I can get behind the settings.
I
The
actually, as far as the setting goes, I actually really liked the where it was set. I guess that's what the setting is. Duh. I liked. It was called the Kingdom of Cremona, or maybe Cremona.
oh, is
That,
it?
yeah, that was the name of the. Do you remember near the start of the episode? Not the very beginning with the woman running through the forest and the two guys chasing her.
Yeah.
But after that, when we see the city and it looks you know it looks European. It's got a
Yep.
whole bunch of those. It's you know it's really green and it has all those houses with the. I don't know what kind of roof that is, but they all have orange roofs.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
It looked. I can't tell you exactly what European country that was modeled on, but it looked really beautiful.
It looked
Uh,
like Belgium or like Holland to me, but
uh,
I never been to those places myself. So
yeah, but you have lived in Europe, and
yeah.
I've lived in
Mhm.
America my whole life. I went to Canada for a couple weeks. I went to Guatemala for a couple weeks, but I never really lived anywhere else. So you would know
Mhm.
better than I do.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's the look like European to me. Yes.
yeah, definitely European, and it looks great. So there is potential for just as far as visuals go, just as far as like I guess maybe the palette of the show, there is potential for it to be a hybrid between like a kind of a quaint European setting and also like very very high tech.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy the potential that's there to create a cool hybrid of those two things.
Yep.
I didn't appreciate much else about the episode though. Like even when you said the episode does its job, I would say that no, it didn't. It didn't even show up for work.
All right.
Like it was just. I totally agree that it's messy. I thought it was a mess. We don't really know anything about any of the characters. We know that Genny, the bearded guy, is like a super genius because he had that scene where he's like, you know how in police procedurals or in crime movies, when you've got the main guy who's like a super genius, brilliant detective, he'll have his marker and he'll be drawing on the whiteboard and he'll be like solving the entire case just by squiggling with his whiteboard, and like that is so lame. I hate that. And this show went to that well in episode 1.
That's right.
So I'm not into Genny at all. Even the dialogue that he had with his doctor friend, where they were kind of reminiscing about their past, which is still a bit of a mystery. And he smells, I guess he smells that the detective or that the doctor has been smoking, like he smells smoke on him. So he tosses him the cigarettes. Are you remembering this scene?
Yeah, I remember that now.
And the doctor's like, "Oh, I guess he knew that I was lying."
I was lying. Yeah.
Yeah, but like all that does is it further establishes this guy as like a super amazing Sherlock Holmes genius. I didn't really learn anything about either of them as men, as individuals. So I don't know. I'm not into it. There's a ton of action. There's car chases, and there's like there's a supernatural element to it. All that's kind of. Go ahead.
What do you think about the supernatural elements into that? Because I don't think it fit the show.
I thought it was really confusing and weird.
All right.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what the deal is with. I mean, there was so much. I'm at a loss for words. Yeah,
I think I understand what you mean. It's like it's totally unclear.
Yeah, it really is unclear. And it's actually like a lot of anime do that, right? Maybe not so much anymore. Maybe that was like maybe an older thing. More of a trend in older anime where the first episode is just jam packed with action.
Yeah.
Or with just goings on in general.
Yep.
This episode seemed to fit that pattern.
Yeah, it just tried to introduce like how awesome the investigator and how awesome the killer bee are.
Right. Yeah.
I guess.
Did you ever watch Tokyo ESP?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Is that have the same problem?
2014 series. This is the closest modern example that I can think of. The first episode in that show was a flash forward, so it's not exactly the same here. But the reason that show flashed forward in its first episode was to include as much action and superpowered fighting as possible in its opening 20 something minutes to get people hooked. And it seemed to me that this show was doing the same thing.
And because we don't have much of the context behind it, so we just can't relate it to it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. One of the other things that didn't work to me in that first episode is the excessive violence. Because I just think it too much. It just doesn't sit well to me.
You're talking about the scene where the patsy, the last remaining insane guy, who one of the supernatural guys was using, he gets a sword stuck through his skull.
Yeah, that
and
one
through his mouth.
and the very first scenes and the very first sequence as well. I don't think it serve any purpose in like in addition to the whole thing, you know.
I don't remember exactly how violent that first sequence was. I remember that there were two guys
Oh,
chasing a woman in a forest, and then
and
B
and they
kills them.
yeah they try into rape the girls,
Right.
and B just basically just like chop them off.
How
No, no, no.
exactly
It's
did he kill them? I don't remember.
well, it off screen. It's off screen obviously, but he just like he basically just chopped them up. I remember like he just like chop their head off. I think
Okay, but it was off screen. You said.
they were off screen.
Okay. I mean, that to me is not too bad because
Mm,
you don't actually see the beheading. At least I the beheading.
yeah.
um, if you don't see it, then I guess I can deal with it a little better. But I definitely feel you on the sword, the guy getting impaled. You know, it going through his brain and his mouth and coming out the other end, and like pinning him to the top of the train, as far as I
Yeah,
remember, or the car.
yeah.
I guess it
Mm-hmm.
was a train.
The
Yeah,
train.
that to me was I mean, I don't think that that kind of violence is totally unnecessary. I do think that you can use like ultra violence
All right.
as a theme and comment on it.
Well,
Uh,
well. You're right. I'm not opposed to using the ultra violence because like with pushes, I think it have the purpose, but it need to have a purpose, you know,
yeah,
because otherwise with too much like violence on screen without any purpose, without like fitting to the team, it just feel off.
yeah. It strikes me that in the same way that Genny, the super detective,
Yep.
was demonstrated to be like a brilliant mastermind in the whiteboard scene,
Mm-hmm.
the main villain, not B, but
The
the
yeah,
other
yeah,
guy,
yep.
the leader of all the other genetic experiments or super
Mm,
powered freaks or whatever they are.
yep.
He the show did the same thing with him. They had him kill somebody brutally in order to show how villainous and how evil he was.
That's right. That's right.
So it just seems as though everything was turned up to 11 in this episode, and as a result, nothing really got through to me.
Yep. So the characters I agree are the worst out of like every elements of the show
Yeah.
because I don't care in like either of them.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised when you said the show did its job, because to me a
It,
first episode's job is to make you care about at least one character.
well, I care more about the plot, and the
I see.
plot is so right. It's alright. It
I
kept
don't even
me
understand what the plot is. They're trying to catch
well
B? Like,
well
okay.
B got B gonna be like an anti-hero. I think he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
he just does his own things, and then like other people gonna catch up to him. So the criminal organization gonna just chase him down. The investigation team gonna chase him down as well
Yeah.
for
I mean,
whatever purpose. I don't know.
yeah, I can kind of predict how this show's going to end, because B is, I mean, after one episode, it seems to me B is killing other murderers.
Yep, yep.
Um, so he probably views that as his mission, but of course the police have to, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that's not something they can let stand. They can't let vigilantism, you know, go unpunished.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to me that what's going to happen is the police are going to like narrow in on B,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's going to have a conversation with Genny, and Genny's going to be like, "Oh, you can't do this. We have to, we have to take you in." And then he says, "But I'm, if I'm fighting the good fight. I'm killing all the bad guys. In fact, you and I are the same." And then, and then the other guy's going to be like, "No, we're not the same." And then there's going to be some kind of fight, and you just know that's coming. Like that happened in Ergo Proxy too, didn't it? You and I are the same.
Oh my god.
And in every other movie that I've ever seen in my life, practically, there's you and I are the same.
All right. So here my question to you: you will you gonna watch it to the end? So
Absolutely not.
they're gonna be 12 episode of that. I think I'm watching to like this first half of the second episodes before I bail out.
Okay.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure if I'm
that doesn't
gonna
seem
get
like
back
a
to
bad
it.
plan. That doesn't seem like a bad plan at all. You know, see if it can rescue itself like really fast in the second episode. I
All
mean,
right,
maybe it does. But I'll probably never know.
all right. Let's get to the other episodes, the other shows.
How about
Um,
Eiko?
yeah. What do you think about Eiko?
Much better.
Mm.
Not not anything not anything groundbreaking, but just a lot clearer. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
a lot more confident, I think, in its presentation.
Still cliche though.
Yeah, for sure.
Why
Although
do
I
we
it,
have?
go
Well,
ahead.
yeah. Why do we have like transfer student
Yeah,
again?
yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. And the main girl, what's her name? Aiko, was
Yep.
like basically get into the guy's team like without any knowledge of her past, of her power. And she already have a superpower ability as well. So like the
Does
main
she?
plot is very cliche for me, but
Wait,
everything
what is
else
her
work.
power?
Oh, she can't die. She like her body is a fake.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Whenever she gets injured, that blue and black looking bruise. I
And
mean,
she
it's
not,
obviously not a bruise, but
yeah, and she not technically injured as well.
right, that's true. I forgot about that. Um,
I just watched
even
it
even though
like
it was like one of the most striking parts of the show.
yeah, I just watched it like an hour ago, so I can tell.
I mean, it was only a few hours ago for me.
All
I
right.
was just using all of my brain power trying to find some meaning in the end of Ergo Proxy, so I forgot everything else.
All right.
Um,
We will talk about ego proxies at the
yeah,
end of this podcast.
we will. Yes, the last 5 episodes, in fact. But for this one episode of Eiko, yeah, I mean, the high school setting, the transfer student, it's definitely cliched, um, but the show uses high school as, I think, an effective background. When you compare it to Be the Beginning, which is just
Mm-hmm.
like everywhere and nowhere at the same time,
Yep.
it isn't grounded in any one setting,
Settings.
in any
Yep.
one style, in anything.
Over the
This show
place.
this show does tread very familiar ground by going to high school and having the new guy be a transfer student. But I think it effectively molds Aiko into a character that we can relate to. Even though she
Mm-hmm.
does have this weird superpower, she is like an analog for the viewer because she doesn't understand what's going on and she's being dragged around. So
Mm-hmm.
we, like her, are clueless as to what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in her shoes, and that works for me.
All right. So, what do you think about the first 8 minutes of Aiko,
Are you talking specifically about
the
the scene
team?
where all the people are on the roller skate
Yep,
suits?
that's right.
Yeah, I was this to me was much better in terms of like throwing some action into your first episode,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not it doesn't dominate the entire episode like it does in Be the Beginning, where there are like
Mm-hmm.
three different fight scenes and a car chase.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I also thought that those suits were really cool. I like the idea. I like a lot of the technology in this series. I like those suits and the guns that they had that shot the lasers that like slowed down whatever that organic um, being was.
Yep. Yep.
I liked the handprint sensors on the doors.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think the show effectively communicated the fact that this was in like the near future without ever saying it.
Yep.
So I,
I,
I did, and that scene where they were all like, um, all the people in those suits, they were searching for something. I can't remember what it was, but it was linked to everything else by, it was like a dream.
well, I think they supposed to search for the specimen, or like DNA or some sort of samples
Right.
from from one of the from one of the code that they have.
Right. It was like 0782 or something.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that. So it's clearly meant to tie into whatever the larger mystery is.
So either that number is from Eiko, or is he like one of the member of the team, because I couldn't tell who is who in
Right.
other shows.
Yeah, I had the same question about whether Eiko was like whether maybe I would be able to see her face in one of the suits. So I went back and I rewatched bits of that first segment, and the person, like it's the guy in the green suit whose arm is captured by
Yep.
that bio whatever it is,
Yep.
that big monster thing. It's him who kind of like flashes and sees all those images of Eiko's childhood,
Yeah. All right.
and then but he doesn't look anything like her, and I can't see any like relation between them. I don't see any similarities between their characters, so I don't think they're related either. It does look like their consciousness is linked, but I'm not sure why.
Is he the same guy as the transfer student though?
No, he's not the same guy as the transfer student.
All right.
He has like blonde hair inside of his.
All right.
in
So
his suit.
I have absolutely no idea
Yeah,
who they are.
me neither.
But well,
But
it's
the show does establish context between that guy in the green suit, whoever he is, and Eiko by like having both of them see the same memories, because she later flashes back, like midway through the episode, she flashes back and sees exactly the same stuff,
mhm.
and they're memories of her. So they're linked somehow. We don't really know how. I think the show is pretty standard in
Yep.
in its development of like one character in particular. It's it's sending us on a journey really quickly, by having the transfer student like come in and take her to essentially another world. Right? They go through that barrier,
Yep.
which I was interested in. I don't know how exactly that works. Like, why is only he able to get through? I guess we'll
Yes.
find out.
So from the three original Netflix shows that's airing this seasons, so we got Devilman Crybaby, we got Be the Beginning, and we got Eiko. I have the feeling that Eiko is the one that the most Japanese. Like I mean, like the other two have a very clearly a Western influence in the style, in the settings, but this one I think like is the most Japanese out of the three.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think. I mean, Devilman is a Japanese manga, but yeah, I know what you mean. Well, like the high school setting and
And
the clear supernatural element right off the bat.
right.
Those tropes definitely scream anime.
Hmm.
But Devilman is also like Devilman's use of violence and sexuality is, I think, very very Japanese. Maybe not like modern anime and modern manga, but think about
Really?
like the 80s when all those really violent OVAs were coming out.
Hmm.
That was like the anime landscape was just that sort of stuff. Of course, there was TV anime as well that was aimed at younger demographics, but I think Devilman is if we were making this podcast like 40 years ago, we would be saying, "Oh man, Devilman is really Japanese."
Yeah, it could possibly be, yes.
Yeah, Crybaby does seem to have a bit of Western influence to it, though.
Mm.
It definitely
Alright.
doesn't look like an anime. Like if you showed it to the average person, they would say, "Oh, who like, you know, was
Yeah,
this on
yeah.
Cartoon Network or something
Yeah,
like that?"
That's right. Well, so are you sure to watch like the whole thing of Eiko, or you want to give some more episodes to see like how it goes?
I don't know. How are you into it?
Well, I'm gonna give it like 3 episodes, so like 2 more.
Okay, I might do the same. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
interested enough to watch more,
Yeah, that's right.
but
I
I'm
think
not in love with it.
I think the production is very very good, and
Yeah, me too.
the setting is actually have a lot going on.
What?
But still, I don't like the characters. So the main girl is alright. I don't like the transfer student.
Yeah, me neither. Not really.
Y- And well,
And I
because
mean, it's really just him and her to
yeah,
care about so far.
that's right.
I
So
like that
yeah,
there's a friendship between the main girl and her,
her
you know,
friends.
her friend. Yeah, there's a friendship between them that is not tainted by, like a love triangle or some other
Yeah,
like
but
element of jealousy. They're just friends. So
yeah,
I
but
like that. I like that.
I have a feeling that that friend is not gonna be significant.
You're
Going up.
probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So let's wait and see. I will give you some more episode for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do the same.
All right. So let's get back to our weekly coverage.
Sure.
What show do you want to start first?
I don't know.
After the Rain, Kokoku, or Darling in the Franxx?
You pick. It's your choice.
All right. Let's go with Kokoku.
Sure. So there's 2 episodes we got to get through.
All right. Yeah, we got 2 episodes. So what happened in that 2 episodes?
Well, I guess we can just try to kind of catch up with the show, and in the process, we can talk about everything that's happened over the last 2 weeks. Like, I don't. This show is not really grabbing me anymore, so I don't really feel the need to
All right.
go over every detail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the main thing that happened in these episodes was that Sagawa, like, became the Hulk. He powered up, and
Yep.
he threw a knife through like 2 dudes, and he's just trying to become some kind of god outside the flow of time, become immortal and stuff.
And so what do you think about his motive? So he not tried to be like ruining the world. He just tried to be an observer, just the guy who observed the chain, the flow of humankind,
Right.
so to speak. So what do you think about that?
I think that on paper, that's a very interesting motivation. However, the show is betraying itself by making him into an action hero guy, or not a hero. They're betraying his intention by making him into like a Marvel villain.
Yep, yep.
Because all he's doing right now is like testing his power. He even says in one of the episodes, one of these two, that it'll be like a good opportunity to test his power to fight one person or another. The show goes on a long. In episode 9, that new that camera expert guy,
Yep.
who is set to become the new head of
What?
the GLS.
I
He
think his
talks-
name is Shiami.
His name is what?
Shiami.
Okay,
Uh,
All right, so that guy,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, he's so bland that I forgot his name. I mean, I forget everyone's names, but he goes on a big long speech about how, when you really consider what Sagawa wants to do, he just wants to sit back and watch the evolution of humanity. And when you really think about it, nobody ever gets to do that. So this is like a really unique thing, but all that we're seeing is Sagawa like eating fish and then turning the protein into like making himself bigger and more powerful and like testing out his strength. It's just why?
Yeah.
That's about all I got, man. Maybe the main thing that happens is that Jury breaks the Master Stone.
Yeah.
That's like the big development.
That's the big development. So that means that if everyone gonna come out of that of the statics, it's gonna be Jury pushing the jellyfish out of them,
Right.
but she can't do it herself. So that creates some conflict.
But it definitely creates conflict. She seems to be set. She seems when that's brought up, when that dilemma is brought to her attention, she's like, "Don't worry, I'll get you all out of here." But
Yep.
if that were me, I'd be like, "I'm scared."
Well,
and
because
she obviously is too. She's just not showing it.
yeah, but because she's the one who breaking it, she the one who choose to save her grandfather, Is
Yeah,
it, yeah, instead of herself. So I think she know that she have to pay for the price.
I guess.
Yes.
I just want the show to make her like to let her be vulnerable because
She's
she is
she
also
vulnerable.
she is vulnerable.
She become vulnerable now.
Well, I want the show to demonstrate to us that she's vulnerable. Like she's, you know how Sagwa is becoming like a Marvel villain.
Yep.
She is becoming an action hero. Like her main purpose in the show recently has been to, you know,
Save the days. Save
yeah,
everyone.
to like get her little glow on with her eyes and push the specters out of people. That's been her main function almost ever since that power was introduced.
Alright, so we got another development actually. So there was a guy, the blonde hair guy, who
Right.
not his will to live if was apparently very strong. So he became one of the heroes,
Hmm.
and uh, we got introduced the new ability, the new special ability of the grandson. What his name? Makoto's.
Makoto.
Yeah, that he can basically control the hands the heroes.
Yep.
So what do you think about that?
I mean, I thought it was pretty clear that he had some kind of power from the moment that the
The
the way that the Herald protected him in one of the very early episodes, maybe even the first or the second one. The way the
yeah,
Herald protected him seemed very different from the way it did everybody else.
more
Uh,
violent is it? More
yeah,
aggressive.
well, yeah, more violent. The Herald was bigger then, but it also seemed that the show was paying it more attention. Like the events surrounding it were very different.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's his control over the Heralds kind of makes sense to me. I mean, why not? Everybody else seems to have some kind of superpower, so why not just give one to the dad so he can stop being so annoying?
Oh, and actually, Majima, she has like one of the special ability as well.
Yeah, she can kind of float, or
Yeah,
the way it's explained is she descends really slowly. So she's not actually floating, she's just
have no
I don't
weight.
know. Yeah, I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah, but is it any like relation to the plot, or is it they just showing her special ability just for us to know for show?
I mean I given how action driven the show has become lately, I feel as though there will probably be a big fight at the end, and
Yep.
everyone's power will factor into it. So,
Mm-hmm.
in that sense, her power is plot relevant, you know.
Yep. Right.
Uh, but I'm not really that interested.
All right. So, what my next questions? Um, do you think that Makoto will be able to control Sagawa because Sagawa is basically a hero as well?
I have that in my notes. Yeah, I wonder if Makoto will be able to control Sagawa directly. Yeah, that's. I
What do
mean,
you think?
since we both arrived at that conclusion, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. I don't know exactly how it'll work. You know, whether Makoto tries to assume control of him and then Sagwa fights back, and then like the show cuts to some mindscape where the two of them are like floating above the clouds or something, and they just have some back and forth,
Reflect.
like some banter, and they're like, "You're actually just like me,"
Echo
and
proxies.
um, I don't know if that's going to be the way it goes, or if it'll be a little smarter and a little subtler than that. But yeah, I mean, if we both thought of that immediately after learning about Makoto's power, you got to figure the show's going to lump that in there somehow.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's a
Uh,
question that I have for you. Do you remember you remember when Jury broke the stone?
yep.
There was like a little blue creature inside of it.
Yeah, that's the core, and I have absolutely no idea what it is.
Uh, is it is it some kind of when she steps on it, like time doesn't unfreeze. They're still stuck in time. So it's not like the god of stasis
Yeah.
or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it
But
maybe that creature like represents the bridge between stasis and
All right.
the real world, and
So
so she's destroyed it, so they can't use it anymore.
I just know for a fact that it's the one who sucked on the blood, and it's the one who sucked on the jellyfish of the grandfather. So
Right.
well, I for me I don't think it's a creature. So I don't think it's alive or
Oh,
anything.
really?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. It looked biological to me,
Alright.
but I mean, we didn't see it moving around like a worm or anything. But
Yeah.
I thought that it looked. I mean, maybe it wasn't. Now I'm doubting
Yeah.
myself.
I'm not really sure either. Maybe the show will explain that details later on.
Yeah, because the
I
grandpa is there when she steps on it, and he is like outraged at what she's
Yeah.
done.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that kind of indicates that it does have not just a spiritual significance, but that it did have like a certain life of its own. That she killed it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
Um, but it's been a while since I saw it. A
Oh,
whole day. So
whole day. I watched it last week, man. So it's like a whole week to me.
I guess it does come out on Mondays. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean I'm still like vaguely interested in how it's gonna wrap up, but not really. Like
Well,
if the show disappeared, if it stopped being subtitled, if it just vanished from existence,
you don't care.
yeah, my life would not be impacted.
All right. I'm still interested to see how they get out of the statics. I'm
Or
not.
how Jury gets out, right?
Yeah, but I'm not interested at all to see like how they fight Sagawa,
Yeah.
because for me Sagawa's as a character is pretty bad.
I thought he was really
But
cool, like when he was first introduced as the head
yeah,
of the cult. I was interested in how level-headed he seemed to be.
yeah, and I can actually get behind his philosophy. I can actually get behind the fact that he want to become a statist, become a hero to observe the time. I actually like that idea. You remember what I was talking to you about the five colors of things.
The
Uh,
five colors?
the five colors. Remember that?
No, I don't. What is this?
You remember like red, blue, white, green, and
Oh, yes,
black.
yes. Yes, I remember.
Yes,
Yeah, magic.
magic. Yeah, sorry, magic the gathering. So he's the blue one. He's the
Because he's
one
just
who
after knowledge.
he after knowledge.
Right.
He's amoral. So he don't have any like moral sense. He want to observe things. But then the main plot is like he trying to killing everyone. So
Yeah.
it make no sense to me.
Yeah, the idea that he wants to stand back and be an observer seems like when you remove yourself from the context of, like, when you remove yourself from the character's viewpoint and just think about it as a product, like
Mm-hmm.
as a show, it just seems to me as though the series is paying lip service to that idea, but is not following through with it.
That's right.
It just seems totally phony.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So that's about all I got.
Yeah. So how many episodes left we have for Kokuku?
Three,
I
right?
think 3. Yep.
It's probably a 12 episode series.
Yep. All right. I can bear
I
with
can,
it.
yeah, yeah, same. Three more, I can do this.
All right. Let's get to Darling in the Franxx.
Okay, so this episode is number 8, and it's the one that aired 6 days ago, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, because we're pretty behind
Um.
on Darling in the Franxx, given the day that we record these.
Yeah. So what do you think about?
You
Oh my
couldn't
god.
even finish the sentence.
Yeah, the first segments of Darling in the Franxx.
Boy, you're talking about the monster that they fight with a jam and rap song playing in the background. Mind
Yeah,
you.
I was
Where
talking about that. Yes.
Yeah, with the like the Klaxosaur that spits venom onto the Franks, which makes the girl's clothes dissolve.
Yep. Oh.
It's just dumb. It's like the worst thing ever. But
Yeah.
but not really. It like I don't know. My mindset when I watch this show is when I watch this show is I try to extend to it the same benefit of the doubt that I did to Kill la Kill,
Yep.
which I enjoyed for most of its runtime before it like fell off a cliff
Mm-hmm.
near the end. How I felt about it anyway. And I mean, Kill la Kill, you had like people were half naked or completely naked in every episode.
Yep.
So in this show, like the fan service, this show is just like somehow more dumb than Kill la Kill. That's my main issue with it. Not necessarily that people are that there's so much fan service. It's just that the show really doesn't have anything interesting to say about relationships between men and women
Mm-hmm.
at all to me.
Well, they did try to establish, and they try to that underline the relationship between men and women in these episodes.
Yeah, they definitely did. I mean that they literally made a line.
Yeah. Yeah, make a well.
The subtlety.
Yeah.
Yeah, they cut the manor that they live in, the birdcage, whatever it's called, just that little house. They cut it in half, and men on one side, women on the other. Just the battle of the sexes. Like, is this a '90s stand-up special?
Yeah.
Why is it like this? Why is this show?
and somehow like the women have the bathroom and the guys have all the kitchens.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
Uh,
it makes sense.
but
Not.
yeah, it's just awful.
All right. So basically, I had my eye roll when like all the girls' clothes are dissolved.
Yeah, that wasn't
God.
even the worst part of the episode for me.
Yeah, and then afterwards, the fight between the boy and the girls. Just how you think about the fights between the boys and the girl?
I thought they were silly. I thought that anyone who takes the show, like really seriously and is really invested in it is probably like a pea brain. And
Well, some other part I do take Darling in the Franxx seriously.
no,
but
why?
then well, all right. In this episodes, like when we learn about the past teammate, the past pilots of the team, of the unit,
Yeah,
I think it has some weight behind it.
I
Uh,
don't.
All right,
Oh, you're talking about what is that girl's name? Shoot, I remember like everyone's name except for the really loud girl. Zorome's partner.
the Plum Hagar.
No,
Is that-
not blonde.
Oh, sorry, it's pink hair, is it?
It's like reddish hair.
All right, she's the loudest one.
Yeah, she's the loudmouth. The same
Yeah.
way that Zorome is a loudmouth. They're suited to one another.
All right.
But yes, you're talking about the scene where she's in that room with the "Do Not Cross" police tape
Yep.
on it.
That's right. The
So she goes in there.
the forbidden rooms.
Right. She goes in there. She sees the picture. So she saw the picture of the old Team 13, or
And yeah, and she busts out.
yes, she starts hyperventilating at the mere sight of the photo. Like no time is given to her for her to process what the photo means. She just starts having a panic attack.
Yeah.
That might have been the worst part of the episode for me, honestly.
All right.
And you know what else is terrible while I'm on a roll? You know how
Yeah.
sometimes the show goes into letterbox format?
Yeah.
So it does that for scenes that are particularly, I don't know, supposed to be meaningful. So in this episode, it went into letterbox format when 02 throws everyone's clothes up into the air,
All right.
and Hiro is like, he's like dumbstruck. He's just bewildered. He's amazed by the
With-
fact that she's taken everyone's clothes and just thrown them
The-
majestically into the sunset.
No. I think he amazed by the bra and the underwear that he's seen.
Maybe that was it. That makes more sense.
All right. My God.
It's like it's the dumbest show of the year for me so far.
All right. So to its benefits, I still can get behind on the more serious stuff they want to tell. Like I still get behind like the fact that they learn about all the all members who died by in missions, but yeah, all the silly stuff are just very silly, and
Yeah, it,
it's hard for me to take them seriously.
yeah,
Not.
it is. I guess, yeah, it is hard to take seriously. I do try to like bear with it, or not even that, just to kind of shift my mindset to realize that this show, it's not a thesis on anything in particular. It's
A
it's
thesis.
just it's just it's a silly show for hormonal teenagers, probably. Like you and I are in our like mid to late 20s,
Yep.
so we're not the target demographic. I try to keep that in mind as I watch. But the problem is that I don't think that any element of the show is really working.
Mm.
The even how it's constantly being hinted that all the kids are have been they're like experiments, or they've been modified genetically, or that
Yep.
a terrible fate awaits them. In
Yep.
this
Yep.
episode, 02 even says you're all going to die. She just
Yep.
comes out and says that to all the girls as they're bathing or something.
Mm-hmm.
But when she said that, I felt nothing. I was like, I hope that someone does die. I hope half these characters die, just so that we can get things moving along.
I think there will be so well.
But I mean, but then after they die, and I don't like any of them, I won't feel anything, and then the issue continues.
Yep.
If it becomes really, if it kind of just throws its characterization that it's been attempting to the wind, and just becomes like really plot driven and like insane, then maybe I can you know
Yep.
I might be able to get behind that.
Well, I can see where you come from, but I don't know why, but despite all of those silly plots, I still enjoy it. Like if I have to put my enjoyment between Darling in the Franxx and Violet Evergarden, I will choose the former
Huh.
over
Okay.
Violet.
I can't,
Yeah.
I couldn't say that that's the case for me. Um, Although I don't think Violet Evergarden is anything really special. I don't think it saved anime or
Mm,
anything. It's certainly
it,
not a top five KyoAni production.
no, not at all.
Um,
It doesn't like it's not the top five of this season offering as well for me.
really? What
Well,
five would you put above Violet Evergarden? Obviously,
well,
Darling in the Franks is one,
yeah. After the rain, I
for
still
sure.
in, I still enjoy the place further than the universe.
Okay.
Well, the last few episodes have been lost me, but I still enjoy it more than Violet Evergardens.
All right, so that's three. What other two
Uh,
shows are better than Violet?
Alright, there are some more slice of life shows that I enjoy more than Violet Evergardens. So
Comfy Camp?
let's say Hakume to Mikochi.
Oh yeah,
Still
okay.
enjoy that every week.
I
Uh,
couldn't get into it, but all right. So that's one.
Takagi-san, I still enjoy it more than Violet Evergarden. And
Okay.
Saiki.
Right.
Uh, yeah, so I have a lot more to enjoy than Violet Evergarden. It just
Wow.
and Yuru Camp.
Yeah, I was
Actually,
about to say Comfy Camp.
yeah, actually very comfy. You how many episodes have you watched?
None.
Or none.
No, I have some downloaded. I do intend to get around to it, but
All right, so
it's not a priority for me.
I will spoil anything to you then.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to spoil, really, is there? If there is,
Oh,
don't tell me. But
oh, all right. So this show the Yuru Camp they
it's
are
pretty fluffy, from what I understand.
yeah comfy camp. They have like two kind of plot. One is like everyone gathered together for camping, and the other one was like there was one of the girl who always go for solo camp, and that was for me is like one of the best part in the show. So like the girl often that girl often goes solo, so she go everything by herself. She enjoy the scenery by herself. She set up the tent by herself, and she enjoy the happiness by herself. And I think that really speak to me.
So how does the show present that? Does it
So like
is it
half and
kind of
half.
moving towards her? Well, yeah, I understand that half the episodes are one way and half are the other. Like there's two different structures. But is the show kind of moving her towards all the other characters and like being with them on a
Yep.
more permanent basis?
Yeah. So like she would text to the main girl about like what she doing, and I actually enjoy like some their like chat their banters together. It's sharper than like many other slide of live shows. I can guarantee that. And what else? And then there was yeah they kind of like twinned it together. So sometimes they would go together like the whole group go together, but sometimes like something doesn't work out, so she have to go alone. So that that kind of plot they doing now.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
mean,
for the
I
last few,
go
yep,
ahead.
go on, no, that's
I
nothing
was I was
actually.
just gonna say I mean I haven't seen the show, but I don't have any trouble believing that you can enjoy it more than Violet Evergarden.
All
Because
right.
Violet Ever I mean for all its you know for its insane production, its long touted production cycle.
Mm-hmm.
For all of that and for all of the I don't know the cinema. I don't even know if it's proper to use the word cinematography, but it's clear that that's what they're going for. In spite of all of that, like the show feels a little plain.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you've got a even if you've got a like a slice of life show,
Mm.
the you can certainly make that stand out more than Evergarden has so far.
Yep. Well,
Oh,
but
I think that
yeah.
the purple haired girl in getting back to Darling in the Franxx, I think that the
Yep.
purple haired girl is gay.
Really,
Yeah.
the purple hair,
Yeah,
the
so
the
she's
the one with
Mitsuru's
glasses, you say?
partner. Yeah, the one with glasses and freckles. Because when
Oh,
the
right.
boys and the girls are separated,
Mm-hmm.
she says I wouldn't mind if things stay this way forever. Like if all the girls are together and all the boys are together. And that alone is of course not enough to for my theory. But
Mm-hmm.
then as soon as she says that, I wish things would stay this way forever. 02 comes up behind
Mm-hmm.
her and licks her and says, "I
Yep.
smell a secret."
Mm. Mm.
So, and also it's been shown that she has compatibility issues with Mitsuru,
Yep.
the
Yeah.
the kind of arrogant guy who's now got something going on with Kokoro.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So she's got compatibility issues with her partner, and she wouldn't mind if the girls just stuck together from now on. And 02, who has some sort of altered sense, she's like licking people and smelling people. She smells a secret.
Yep. How
So that's my theory.
well? How do you think if the show gonna do the change partner plot?
The what?
Would change partner?
Oh, the change partner. Yeah.
Would they do that?
Well, they already have a little bit, right? We've already
Yeah.
seen Mitsuru and 02 pilot. We've already seen
All
Ichigo
right.
and Hiro pilot
Actually,
together or attempt to.
yeah, that's true.
So we've already seen that happen twice. And I have a feel. I mean, you know that Mitsuru and Kokoro,
Mm-hmm.
Kokoro being the girl with the long blonde hair, who has that
Yep.
baby book, like how to prepare for your baby or how to raise
Mm-hmm.
your baby or
Yep. Yep.
she and Mitsuru have that meeting, like for the second episode in a row, they have a meeting away from everyone else.
Yep. Yep.
So something's going on there. I feel like they may pilot together at some point.
Oh, I can I can get behind that. All right. Mm.
I mean, I
Like
just want I want the show to just get busy. Like I want it to move along.
yeah, that's right. I want it to get busy. Like the last 2 3 episodes had been very laid back.
Well, episode 6 was 3 episodes was I guess 3 episodes ago. That was the big fight.
Yeah, and then we have like the beach episodes, and then we have like these episodes.
Yeah, the last two for sure. Not not a lot of action.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I would like it to get in gear, please.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it tend to get dumb when it stay laid back. So like, if it can get more busy, it actually like will work better for its benefits.
Yeah, at least I would appreciate it more. It sounds like you would too. I'm sure there are a lot of people who like these episodes. They're not wrong,
Well, I
but
don't.
they are wrong. They actually are wrong.
All right, dude. After the rain.
Yeah. How'd you feel about
Wow.
this one?
Well, this one is mainly about friendship.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
and I think they do explore that very like thoroughly. So like we have like the two sides of we have like Tachibana side and her issues with Sakura, what is
Haruka.
Haruka, and on the other hand we have Kondo with his long with his friends. Well, I
Yeah,
didn't
Chihiro.
expect I didn't expect him to be a guide, the guide.
Yeah, that was the thing that I said I knew that I didn't want to spoil for you like a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
Because I just caught it on some thread somewhere. I knew that I knew it wasn't his ex-wife or
yep.
love interest or anything. It is a guy, yeah, and he is very interesting character design.
Mm-hmm.
The white hair, the really round glasses, and not
Fuck.
just his character design, but also his attitude.
Mm-hmm.
He's very, he's a bit of a kid.
Yep.
He even says, we're not adults.
Yeah.
We're classmates.
It, well, it feels like some part of them don't grow up, but I can certainly agree with that.
Yeah, they're definitely not the picture of adulthood when they're
Mm-hmm.
when they're in that really noisy restaurant with a whole bunch of teenagers
Yep.
drinking beer and
Cheap, loud, and what else?
that's right. He does. He says cheap, loud, and something else. It's a
Yeah.
friend to all college students.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Did you like the episode?
Yeah, I like the episodes.
I did too.
I like well enough. I I think it goes beyond the romantics the romance. So
It
like
certainly does.
it dig yeah it dig into like something deeper like I do think like friend just focus on romance is really like simple. This one like go even more complex and more mature. Can't really explain why though.
It's definitely a change. If you view the romance between the manager and his employee, his high school age employee, if you view that as something that's like temporary, um, that's probably just going to be like a blip in both of their lives, not something that's going to shape the rest of their lives,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, I think that an episode like this one that gives you a whole bunch of information about the man that Kondo is and how he got to be that way,
Mm-hmm.
and that focuses more on his friendship with his old writing buddy,
Yeah.
and on Akira's friendship with her
Haruka.
her friend or her ex friend.
Mm-hmm.
They're on
Nah,
the rocks right
this
now.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, if the romance is not the big thing for you, then this episode is gonna feel a little more impactful, like maybe a little more significant.
So how about you? How about you?
Well, you know that I'm on board with the romance of this show.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I did enjoy this episode. It's not one of my favorites, but I was captivated by Kondo's story.
Yeah.
I was
Mm.
not very interested in Tachibana or Akira and Haruka. I was
Mm-hmm.
their little spat that they're having. I don't. I still feel as though Haruka has like romantic feelings for her because she gets so upset when
Mhm.
when Akira goes over to say hello to her manager, and when
Mhm.
she realizes that Akira has a
A
crush on
feeling.
this older guy,
Mhm.
she is in tears. So the other way to interpret that would be she's upset that her friend is not sharing this information with her.
Yeah, yeah,
But it
yeah.
but it seems to me that her reaction goes past that because she can't even stand to be near Akira after she learns of this news. Like she has to run away in tears.
Nah, nah, nah. So for me, all right. So for me, it Tachibana and Haruka's. For me, Haruka feeling to Tachibana is still just friendship. The thing that make her upset is not because of Tachibana having a crush to the manager, but because of she not telling her, which is from what I think that would be the case if they were still friends like before. So before the accident, they can still talk things. They can still like share secret to each other, but not now, and she clearly upset by that.
Yeah,
That
but
my take on it anyway.
yeah, I mean, I agree that that's the alternative. But is would something like that really be enough for you to burst into tears and like flee the scene and just remove yourself physically from the presence of your old friend?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of like building up the emotion inside that like we not friends like we used to be, and it's Tachibana who actually like confirmed that like right away. It hurts. So that's why I think that she act the way she did.
Yeah, I mean, maybe her getting up. I mean, Tachibana does say, we can't go back to the way we used to be,
Yeah,
and I think that's what puts Haruka over the edge.
yeah, that, yep.
But nevertheless, she was immediately like frustrated and upset
Mm-hmm.
by just her realization that Akira likes her manager.
Mm-hmm.
She was already, like blushing, or her not blushing. Her face was like she was angry, or she was mad. She was sad. So she got a little color in her cheeks.
Mm-hmm.
I really do think that I think that she's gay. I don't
Uh,
think that the show will ever confirm it,
mm-hmm. I don't think so
because
either.
the like that's a lot of homosexuality in anime and manga is implied rather than stated,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not like I don't think Japan is the most accepting uh, culture in the world
Mm-hmm.
as far as
Yep.
that kind of thing goes. But I think that she cares more for Tachibana than
Yep.
is normal between two friends.
and and I what all right, because I actually intrigued to the solution that this show trying to suggest about their friendship.
What
Like,
is the solution?
yeah, their solution is like is what Kondo talk to Tachibana. It's like just give it some time. Like give it some more time, and then you will eventually like be back together, because what happened in the past, like what happened before the incidents, is this. So like they was a best friend before, so that feeling wasn't gonna change. I think that basically the feeling that the that Kondo trying to tell to Tachibana.
Are you talking about the scene where she's like taking out the trash?
The super moon.
Yeah, the Superman scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think that it's gonna the story will end with them being friends again. Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. I mean like there will be no like there will be no confrontation from them. I mean like they just have to come to learn about that, to make sense of the friendship by themselves, and then they will meet together. I think that what the show trying to do.
I mean I think Akira's I think her foot her Achilles tendon, or whatever it is exactly, whatever her injury is, I think that's gonna heal, and
Mm-hmm. She get
that's
back on
gonna
track.
yeah, she'll literally get back on the track,
uh,
and
uh,
she'll
mm,
you know
all right.
she'll be friends with everybody again. Like I don't know, man. It's I enjoy almost every episode of the show just for the way it looks,
Yep.
the characters, the direction, like the way it sounds even most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm worried about the arc of this show because the show the where Tachibana's character starts is as a girl who's like, in love with another person.
Mm-hmm.
That's where her arc begins. We learn about her injury, through flashbacks and through dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So her arc is not that of a runner who experiences setbacks in her running career and in her friendships.
Yep.
Her arc, I mean, based on where the story started, her arc is this is a romantic story.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm worried that the show is not gonna, for that reason, I'm worried that the ending won't be as
Mm,
as
Yeah.
powerful as it could be.
Yeah. I get what you mean though. But for what we have so far about the romantics, I think it actually pretty good. So I don't know, man.
It's I mean, I don't know. I think I just want the show to
Focus more
be
on the couple.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess.
Mm.
We've gotten plenty, I have no right to complain. We've gotten plenty. I'm just concerned about the ending, especially with that news we got like a month ago about the manga ending very abruptly.
Is it
Um,
is it ending abruptly?
yeah, I mean, just a month ago, ish.
Yeah.
We got the news that it was ending in two more chapters.
Yeah, but because we haven't read, I haven't read the manga, so I don't know that how well plan ahead they do with the manga, but
Yeah, I mean,
I assume they do.
yeah, you would hope so. I mean, it
Yeah.
remains to be seen, but the staff of the anime have probably been cooperating with the mangaka.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I take that news as more like like I'm more optimistic about that than like worry about the fact that the manga will end early.
Yeah. I mean, the show has given us plenty of reason to be optimistic.
That
It's a good series, and I mean, the ending that I'm predicting is like, you know, she and the manager go their separate ways. Like there's some kind of time skip, and then
mm-hmm.
she's friends with Haruka again, and then like like later in her life, maybe she meets the manager when she's older.
Yep. Or
Something like that. But like just the easiness, the easiness with which, oh my god, let me try to say this as carefully as I can. The
yeah.
easiness with which that ending is like reached is
Yeah.
just it's not very daring for me. It's not
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm afraid of that.
If you put it that way, it's not that great. But I myself don't expect anything from from how it ends.
Yeah.
So so like let's see like how it's going to end up.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, as long as it makes sense to me, and so far it make a lot of sense. So far it provide many layers, like what behind the romance. They dig into the friendship and like the personal growth of each of the characters. So I'm happy with what we have so far.
I wonder about that. Is the show really um is Tachibana, is Akira really growing?
Mm,
It seems to
mm,
me that in this episode she regressed,
yeah, in
right?
this.
Because she pushed her friend away.
Mm-hmm.
And the
It.
show, like the thing that drives the wedge between them is the manager.
Mm,
He's what sets off their disagreement.
nah. It was before that. It was her injury that set that off. It
Oh,
just like
yeah, that's true.
it just now. It just like like yeah.
That's true, but I feel as though the show paints Akira as kind of going backwards and not focusing on herself enough, and I'm worried that like oh my gosh, I just kind
Oh
of spit everywhere. I'm worried that the idea is that the like her obsession with the manager is like a negative thing,
yeah.
and it honestly it is.
Well,
right?
she's well.
She
I
shouldn't
have
be obsessed with him like that.
I have to be disagree about she not focused on herself. I think she focused too much on herself. She not thinking about the others.
No, she's more obsessed with the manager. She focuses more on him than she does on herself.
She focused on how to be with him. So she focused more about herself.
Well,
Well,
I see what you're
it,
saying.
yeah,
She's kind of being selfish or like self-absorbed in pursuing that goal.
that's
But
right. Yeah,
think about what or who the goal is.
yeah,
It's him.
yeah. And I do think that Kondo on the other hand have a bit of like self development for the past few episodes. So now he learned more about like he uh, he learned more about like the past. He learned more about like the youth. Like
Youth again.
yeah, well, uh, he learned more about what he liked to do. I suppose.
Yeah, well, remember when he says to Chihiro, like, I still write now and then, and he says,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't admitted that I haven't said that out loud in so many years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think as a result of their conversation, he's more accepting of the idea that even though he's not an author, it's still okay for him to write.
Yeah.
And even more than that, I think that as a result of their night out, he thinks of himself. Maybe he doesn't trick himself into thinking that he's young, but he does realize that he doesn't need to beat himself up, and he doesn't need to call himself like a middle-aged failure,
Mm-hmm.
because he can still like feel young and
Have a
and enjoy
ha-
things that young people do.
yeah, and have a dream.
Yeah, it's okay
So
for him to hang on to that like a little bit, even as he maintains his adult responsibilities of raising his son, of working at the restaurant.
well, and I do agree that like the way that Tachibana pursues the love thing that love right now is they I think that the show really like like walk the thin line between showing us that it's a positive or negative effect, because like
Yeah,
sometimes I do feel like it have a negative effect to impact to her and to Kondo. Sometimes I think it's positive, so I think that the show the pretty well,
yeah,
to like to
go
put
ahead.
it in the gray area.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. That's why their romance is so interesting to me. It's because the
Mm.
like you know how a lot of anime, like high school love triangle anime in particular, they all deify the concept of just being young and being in love and just making mistakes and just like being honest and kokohaku, like confess your feelings and
Mhm.
all that stuff. This show is like the idea. I mean, obviously it's because of the age gap, but the concept of love is much murkier. It's much messier,
Yeah.
and it's precisely because it does such a good job of painting romance that way and painting
Mhm.
sex that way. It's
Mhm.
precisely because it does that so well that I want it to commit.
All right.
It's precisely because of that that I want to see it happen, because I think that this show's take on it would be more interesting than what any other show could achieve. But
All right.
it's better not to have any expectations and just to take it as it comes, because
Yeah, that's right. Because you're about to be disappointed if you expect it too much.
I'm already disappointed, man.
All right.
But I definitely enjoy it. I enjoy it.
All right.
Want to
Let's
move on to Ergo Proxy?
yeah, let's move on to the end of Echo Proxies.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm just coming out and saying that
Oh.
right now. How'd you feel?
Well, I didn't expect that, like episodes 19 and 20, so like the last five episodes before it end, we have like a dream within a dream. We have like everything happen in your mind. The
Right.
two episodes in a row, and I
Yeah.
was like, God, it's just like
I see. Based on your feedback on the last batch of 6 episodes, where you said that you enjoyed the ones that stood alone a little bit more than the ones where they like finally get to mosque.
yeah,
I would think that based on that, you would have appreciated those dream episodes like a little bit because they tell their own story.
Yeah,
So
but
that wasn't the case this time.
no, that wasn't the case. That because I was expecting they reach into the final act and they take too long to go to the final act to go back to Rome Dirt.
Yeah. I mean,
And
honestly, I would have loved it if they never went back to Ramdo, just abandoned that and told more like one-off stories because I
my
didn't like what we got when we went back to Ramdo.
yeah, I'm not a fan of it either. I just watched it literally like 2 hours ago.
You
Um,
want to just go episode by episode on
yeah.
this one?
No. So I finished the first two a day ago,
You mean
like
19 and 20?
19 and 20. So I just watched it and fall asleep, watch and fall asleep until until this morning. I finished the final three.
Okay. Yeah, so episode 19, that was the one where it was Pino's dream.
Yep.
And episode 20, that was Vincent's dream, right?
Yep.
And I like it there's mention of a proxy that is invading their dreams and communicating with them that way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
my theory is that it was Proxy 1 who is taking like different forms and appearing in their dreams.
Oh, maybe. I
Because
oh
the way that it communicates with them is the same, right? They fall asleep and then
well
they what's up?
well. I think it's different between Pino and Vincent though. So in the end of Pino episode 19, we literally have the team like pass over the one of the city because it implied that that city have a proxy in there, so they
Right.
just avoid going to that city.
Yeah.
So my take is that that Pino episode is from that proxy. So the proxy that we don't know the name of, we don't know anything about them except
I
that
see what you're saying.
yeah, except that they can enter the dream. But I agree with you on the episode 20, which is that was the proxy one who do all the stuff, or the my fuck sorry.
Yeah, it was that a lot of these episodes, a couple of them really attempted to be like very jarring and very confusing, not necessarily sequential or linear.
Yeah.
But they really they lost me. Not just it wasn't just that I didn't understand what was going on. They really lost my interest.
Oh.
The episode 19, like I was kind of into episode 19 though, the Walt Disney
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Um, the idea of like old mascots, old characters, when they're not profitable anymore, when they're not useful for you know, controlling people or for bringing in money,
Yeah.
then they have to go somewhere. I mean, where do they go? So you know, there's the garbage dump, and
Yep.
I was interested in that.
Yeah.
Um,
That was a nice idea actually. Yep.
but episode 20 was, man, the constant switching back and forth between Riel and Vincent, and that new character Swan.
Yeah. They
She came out of nowhere.
she basically appeared in that one episode.
Yeah, she was probably Proxy 1, right?
She will probably proxy one. Yes. Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it's possible that like Proxy 1, isn't he kind of like the head of all the proxies?
Yes, I do think so.
So then isn't it plausible then that he is the one invading Pino's stream? Because his like his signal, let's say his signal could originate from anywhere that there is a proxy, anywhere that one of those domes exists.
yeah, but the main objective though, I mean like the objective of that Pinot dream is to like to avoid the city, and I don't think it's like the proxy one objective.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, I just don't get what happened with all the proxy one stuff.
Yeah, me me neither. Not really.
Yeah, it
We
lost me.
we kind of figured out that Proxy One and Ergo Proxy were two different people.
Yep.
At like last week, we figured that out because of the two different necklaces.
Yep.
Even though they both look like Vincent.
Yep.
So in this episode, we see that they actually do look identical. The only thing that separates them is the mask, that like flowing white mask that Ergo Proxy sometimes wears.
Yep.
But apart from that, they're the same underneath. But I don't understand their relationship. The show, at one point it says that they're the same, like that they're the same person.
They are the same person, I think. It's just the memory. So I think Proxy one was the one that with all the memories, all the best stuff, all the memories about how they created the rondos and stuff. Uncle Proxy is the one who know that he is a proxies, but he doesn't have the memory of creating rondos.
No,
And
that's true.
um,
He doesn't. But it's said that Ergo Proxy is the one who created uh, Romdo.
yeah,
They keep calling him the creator,
yeah,
and that he created the artificial womb, and he even made auto raves. They keep saying that Ergo Proxy is the one who set all that up. Like he was the one who left Romdo in Riel's grandpa's hands. So what is the idea between what's the
oh,
idea of having Proxy One being like
no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah. So I get it now. I think, all right. In my opinions, I I think that Ergo Ergo Process is the one who created everything, but then he felt disappointed. So that's why he want to have that memory off. So that's why he erased the memory. And I think that part of the memory who still remember everything is become the proxy one.
I
And
see.
yeah, and he's the one who lost all the memory of creating the ROM though. So and then because he know that proxy is the one who created all the city and stuff. So he created Vincent Law, who doesn't know that he's himself a proxies.
Right, yeah. The Ergo Proxy, he created
So
Vincent,
the
or he invaded his body, or he Vincent was
yeah,
basically a vessel for him to occupy in the process of fleeing Romdo and forgetting about everything he had done.
yep,
Yeah, it makes sense, I guess, that Proxy One is just like the manifestation of Ergo Proxy's
yeah,
thoughts, his memories. But what was the deal with them being like gods? Do you remember
yeah,
this?
yeah. You you
They're
you you mean like thematically, or you mean like
yeah,
in
yeah.
the story or the plot?
I understand that they were supposed to be. It's not even that they were gods. They were referred to as God's agents.
Yep.
Um. So what? they're angels, or I don't need it in theological terms, but
All right.
what exactly is the idea between, like,
Proxy.
why did the show set it up this way?
All right. So from what I understand, proxy is the one who create the cities. So like
Yeah.
it proxies create their own cities. So that what their own dome, and that's what we see so far. Like when Vincent went along the outside world, and see proxies in their old dome city, lost cities.
Yep.
So like yeah, so basically I think the idea behind that is like proxy is the creators. So they create the city, they create the people,
Yeah.
and yeah, well,
Yeah, but then the show introduces the idea that there is a god, like, who is above all of this, and the proxies are his agents, like they carry out his will.
uh,
And
I
then go ahead.
yeah, well, I think they mean that in the end they mean that proxies are God. They're not the messenger; they are the God.
But I think it's Proxy One who says that we're all God's agents.
All right, did he? All right,
That's why I'm so
yeah.
like
So it
that's bizarre.
yeah it lost me though.
As you know, the reason that I was so maybe confused by it or disappointed might be more accurate is that the show builds up, what are the proxies as its
Yeah.
central mystery.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's revealed that, oh yeah, they're just like supernatural beings, and yeah, I mean they're just gods, or they're gods helpers, or something.
Yeah.
That's not that interesting to me. I was thinking that they would be created by man, like accidentally.
Yeah.
That there were some sort of when mankind was maybe experimenting with those Amrita cells,
Yeah. Yeah. I understand what you mean, but
that they would,
uh, yeah. I think basically they just said like proxies are specials, proxies are God,
I mean,
and
essentially that's what they said. They
yeah,
kind of took it out
they,
of the scientific realm and made it more,
mo-
mysterious,
religious actually. All right,
religious.
I think Ergo Proxy is still heavily on the theme. So like we have the theme of is existence dualism or or whatever they call.
Existentialism.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like fighting oneself like yeah. So I think that theme is very prevalent in the show.
Well,
That's
it
why we
certainly is. Go ahead. Go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, that's why we have like Vincent always fighting with his other self. That's why we have like an episode of Real having like multiple disorders, personalities. That's why we have like um, an episode of like a proxy that this guy to be themselves to fight about like who is the real so identity is like one of the main team. So basically for that team I can agree, I can get behind this, but like for the way the show in the end it just doesn't hold up very much.
Yeah. Identity is
Yeah,
is definitely
the
something that
main
the
team.
show tried to tackle.
Yeah.
But the problem is, its exploration of the concept of identity just boiled down to a couple episodes where you weren't really sure what was going on, and the show didn't totally explain itself. And apart from that, it was just characters thinking to themselves, like ad nauseum,
Yep.
over and over. Am I really me, or
Yeah.
am I somebody else, or who is that over there? Is that me? Am I me? Who is me? Who am I?
Yeah.
Over and over.
Yeah. Over the course of 23 episodes.
Yeah. Um, uh, it's just the show didn't come together at the end like clearly enough.
Yep.
Um, in
Yes.
order for any of that to, it didn't hit me.
All right. So tell me like so just to wrap things up, tell me like your general thought about everything in Ergo Proxies.
Oh man, I thought there was a whole bunch more that we could talk about, but you know what? This thing's run a little long already.
Yep.
So no, you're right. You're right, Mario. What did I think? I think that this show is okay. I would not recommend it to anyone unless they're a fan of dystopian sci-fi,
Yeah.
or if they're into like robotics. The idea of do
Well,
machines have souls? Are they
well,
autonomous? Can they evolve?
I think it have like some of the top provoking ideas. The theme itself is actually is like have a lot to talk about. They tackle some of the philosophical questions.
Yeah, but not really effectively enough for me to recommend it.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, if you really like dark looking anime that's set in a bleak future, then it's worth watching probably. At least trying. But
Yeah.
I don't think, like, when you take genre and when you take tone, when you just strip all that away and are comparing it against, so like, just take, I don't know, any show from this era. What year was this? 2006.
2006. Yep.
There's just better shows from that year to watch. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but they're
Uh,
there.
yeah,
That was
Haruhi.
that was Haruhi, right?
Yeah. So, but even like like show on the same throne, like I think we could pick like what's the other show that you watched the other day that you said was much better from two
Technolize.
Technolize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Technolize is it 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 is obtuse actually. It is probably more difficult to get into than this show, but the end hits like a truck.
All right, it's more rewarding, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. All right. So if you would rate the show,
Uh, I, I don't know, like a 5, like out of 10.
yeah, out of 10,
I'd probably give it a 5.
I probably say 7.
7.
Yeah, not
Damn.
bad. All right, but I always like an easy maker. So like out of 100 scale of PHLs, I would rate it like about 77, 78.
That's really really high, man. That's like a C plus.
Uh, nah, it's alright for me. Like usually for me to recommend a show, we put it for about like 80 over 100.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's the same for me then, I guess, and that I wouldn't really recommend it unless someone is looking for something like this in particular.
Yeah, like God in the Shells, the movies.
What, Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Or
mm,
just watch Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
that's right.
Oh my gosh,
Is that
I finished the first season of that recently.
and is that good?
Um, it's yes, it is good. It
It's more of investigation from what I heard of.
it is at first, and then
Mm.
once you reach the last batch of 8 episodes, I mean,
Yeah.
it is good and it keeps your interest with a lot of varied subject material
Hmm.
throughout its first 3 quarters. But once you get to the last 8 episodes, it is just like you cannot stop watching.
All right.
It's unbelievable.
Wow. I gonna get on to that.
It's
Uh,
quite good, yeah. But it's also a bit of a time commitment. You know, it's 26 episodes.
mm. All right. For listeners, after we done Ergo Proxies, we're gonna get on to the new classic shows next week, and
What
that
will that
show
be?
is Rose of Versailles.
Yeah. Yep. Rose of Versailles.
All right.
It's 1979, I think,
1979.
was when it was produced. It's about the
Yeah.
French Revolution.
So
It's
so it's way before like all of us was born.
it's way before what was born.
All of us.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's true. It predates me by like 11 years.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I
So
hope it's better than Ergo Proxy.
oh, I do hope so, and we're gonna watch like every 5 episodes for a podcast.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be tough.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
The note taking will continue. And maybe we'll talk a little bit more about Eiko if we watch more episodes and we feel like it's worth it, or maybe
Yeah.
not.
All right.
We'll see.
All right.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
listening,
listening.
everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Thanks for
sorry.
listening. No, that's
You
right.
take us home, man.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. And just to sum something up, I think the last week was a average week for me. So I enjoyed some of the stuff. Some of the stuff like disappointed me, but it was an okay week for anime with 2 new shows coming up. So come on and watch them. And I will see you next week.
I'm gonna interrupt here and say don't watch Be the Beginning.
All right.
But do whatever you want. I'm not your dad, but be optimistic. But
Don't watch it.
it's not that good.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye for now.
Bye bye.